Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program. Today, we're diving into some intriguing developments in Hong Kong's financial and social landscape. First up, the Hong Kong government is looking to involve the Securities and Futures Commission in regulating over-the-counter virtual asset trading, aiming to provide clearer guidelines following recent fraud cases. This move could reshape the crypto scene in the city and attract more business while ensuring investor protection. In other news, HSBC has made headlines by becoming the world's largest dividend payer, distributing a whopping $11.7 billion in Q2 2023. This achievement showcases the bank's robust performance, even as growth in the Asia-Pacific region faces challenges. Meanwhile, China Mobile is leading its Hong Kong peers, highlighting the competitive spirit in the market. Lastly, a thought-provoking article suggests that Hong Kong's malls should evolve beyond luxury shopping destinations into inclusive community hubs. The author argues for integrating workspaces and leisure areas to better serve the diverse needs of residents. This shift could foster a sense of community and engagement in the bustling city. Please stay tuned for more detailed content. South China Morning Post reports that Hong Kong is contemplating the involvement of the Securities and Futures Commission, SFC, in regulating over-the-counter, OTC, virtual asset trading services, alongside the Customs and Excise Department, C&ED. This move comes as the city seeks to enhance its regulatory framework following significant financial fraud linked to the crypto exchange JPEX, which led to losses of approximately 1.6 billion Hong Kong dollars, $225 million. The SFC is currently gathering feedback from industry players regarding a new licensing regime for cryptocurrency OTC services and custodians, aiming to create a clearer regulatory environment. This initiative is part of Hong Kong's broader strategy to attract crypto business while safeguarding retail investors, especially as competition from the US increases with its own supportive regulatory measures and the launch of spot Bitcoin and Ether ETFs. South China Morning Post highlights that HSBC Holdings has emerged as the world's leading dividend payer in the second quarter of this year, disbursing a remarkable $11.7 billion, bolstered by a significant special dividend from the sale of its Canadian operations. This payout marks a notable increase from previous years, responding to shareholder demands for higher returns. Following HSBC, China Mobile led the dividend payments in Hong Kong, contributing $6.3 billion. Despite a lackluster growth in the Asia-Pacific region, global dividends soared to a record $606.1 billion, driven by supportive government policies aimed at boosting corporate confidence and returns to investors. Analysts predict a brighter outlook for dividend growth in the region, particularly in China and South Korea, as governments implement reforms to enhance shareholder value. South China Morning Post discusses the need for Hong Kong's shopping malls to evolve beyond being mere luxury retail spaces for the affluent. The author shares personal experiences navigating the city, emphasizing the importance of malls as essential third spaces for various demographics, including tourists and remote workers. Drawing inspiration from global urban planning experts, the piece advocates for malls to become more inclusive community hubs, incorporating features like public seating, game tables, and workspaces. The argument posits that the government, as the primary landowner, should mandate investments in making these spaces hospitable for all citizens, rather than catering solely to wealthy shoppers. By reimagining malls as cultural and communal centers, Hong Kong can enhance the urban experience for everyone, fostering a sense of community and belonging amidst the bustling city life. BBC, a former CIA officer, Alexander Yuk-Ching Ma, has been sentenced to a decade in prison for espionage on behalf of China. The 71-year-old, who worked for the CIA from 1982 to 1989, confessed to selling U.S. secrets to the Chinese government after being caught by an undercover FBI agent. Ma's collaboration with a relative, also a CIA agent, involved providing sensitive information to the Shanghai State Security Bureau, including a recorded meeting where he was seen counting $50,000 in cash. His plea agreement requires him to cooperate with U.S. authorities for life, including undergoing polygraph tests. The case serves as a stern warning from the FBI, emphasizing that justice will prevail regardless of time. The Sydney Morning Herald. In China, a significant demographic crisis is unfolding as women like 27-year-old Jiang Yi choose not to have children, driven by a desire for freedom and economic concerns. Despite government incentives to boost birth rates, many women find the financial burden of raising children too daunting. The legacy of the one-child policy has left a lasting impact, resulting in a gender imbalance and a shrinking labor force. As women prioritize careers and face intense work schedules, the fertility rate has plummeted to around 1, well below the replacement level needed for a stable population. The cultural shift towards intensive parenting and rising education costs further complicate the situation, leaving many parents like Jean Lilan struggling to consider expanding their families amidst financial uncertainty. South China Morning Post. Freedom Holdings, a major Kazakh conglomerate, is eyeing Hong Kong's dim sum bond market to finance a significant telecom infrastructure project. The company plans to raise funds for a hyperhighway and a data center in Kazakhstan, highlighting Hong Kong's growing role as a fundraising hub under the Belt and Road Initiative. The telecom project aims to enhance connectivity between Central Asia and Europe, facilitating smoother data transit while bypassing Russia. As Hong Kong continues to promote itself as a financial center, the issuance of renminbi-denominated bonds has surged, indicating a robust demand for better infrastructure and connectivity in the region. Freedom Holdings is also considering expanding its brokerage services to include access to Hong Kong Stock Exchange in the near future. South China Morning Post. Pakistan's ambassador to China, Khalil Hashmi, has announced that Hong Kong residents will soon be granted visa-free access to Pakistan. This initiative aims to enhance business and tourism ties between the two regions. Hashmi emphasized that the time has come for Hong Kong to reassess its 10-year-old red travel alert for Pakistan, which was established following a series of violent incidents in 2014. He pointed out that Pakistan has made significant strides in improving its security situation since then and believes a review of the travel advisory is overdue. The ambassador also expressed a desire for Hong Kong's leadership to visit Pakistan, showcasing the potential for increased economic collaboration and cultural exchange. South China Morning Post. Li Na, the only mainland athlete to win a Grand Slam title, has asserted that China's recent tennis achievements are indicative of the country's ongoing development in the sport. With notable performances from players like Xing Qinwen and Zhang Zhizhen at the Paris Olympics, Li highlighted the positive atmosphere for tennis in China, which now boasts several players within the ATP and WTA Top 100 rankings. As the tournament director for the upcoming Prudential Hong Kong Tennis Open, Li expressed her commitment to enhancing the experience for players and fans alike, emphasizing Hong Kong's vibrant culture as an ideal backdrop for international tennis competitions. She hopes that the tournament will continue to foster interest and participation in the sport. South China Morning Post. Japan's plan to repurpose soil contaminated by the Fukushima disaster has garnered support from the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, despite significant opposition from environmental groups. The IAEA's recent report concluded that the recycling of low-level radioactive soil for infrastructure projects aligns with safety standards, prompting the Japanese government to move forward with its proposals. Critics, however, express deep concern over the potential risks associated with using contaminated soil, citing the relaxation of safety thresholds and the possibility of increased cancer rates. As Japan navigates this contentious issue, experts predict a backlash similar to the reactions surrounding the release of treated wastewater from Fukushima, calling for clearer communication from the IAEA to address public concerns and bolster Japan's position on the matter. South China Morning Post, Brian Hui, a seasoned professional with a rich background in finance, technology, and startups, embodies a unique blend of experiences that shape his role as a growth officer at HSBC. Emphasizing his identity beyond traditional marketing, Hui sees himself as a catalyst for innovation and customer-centric strategies. His journey began with a master's degree in economics, leading him to explore digital transformation across various global markets. Upon returning to Hong Kong, a serendipitous encounter at HSBC allowed him to apply his diverse insights to rejuvenate the 160-year-old bank. Huey's guiding principles hinge on curiosity and a long-term vision, as he advocates for embracing challenges as opportunities. His strategic partnership with the M+ Museum during the pandemic exemplifies his forward-thinking approach, demonstrating that even in uncertain times, bold decisions can yield significant rewards. South China Morning Post, the recent inclusion of Alibaba Group in the cross-border Stock Connect program has sparked optimism among investors, suggesting that the tech giant could experience significant growth similar to its peers. Historical data indicates that other major Chinese tech firms like Tencent and Meituan saw substantial gains after joining the program, with Tencent enjoying a 23% rise in 6 months. Following a steep decline in market capitalization, Alibaba's initial performance post-inclusion was promising, with a 4.2% increase on its first day. Analysts predict that mainland investors may channel billions into Alibaba's shares, driven by a preference for companies with transparency and solid investor relations. Despite lingering concerns over competition and economic challenges, Alibaba's recent regulatory tailwinds and a growing customer management revenue stream position it favorably for recovery and growth in the near future. South China Morning Post, the recent update to the U.S. Hong Kong Business Advisory has raised alarms regarding the risks of operating in the city following the introduction of national security legislation. However, the advisory appears disconnected from the reality of U.S. businesses thriving in Hong Kong, which has long been a competitive hub for trade and investment. Local officials and the Foreign Ministry have dismissed the advisory as misleading, highlighting that no U.S. entities have faced prosecution under the new laws. A survey from the American Chamber of Commerce in Hong Kong revealed that a significant majority of members view the city as a viable business environment, with many expressing no intention to relocate their headquarters. The long-standing business ties between the U.S. and Hong Kong, characterized by a favorable trade surplus and a welcoming regulatory framework, remain intact, suggesting that pragmatic decision-making will continue to drive U.S. businesses to leverage Hong Kong's strategic advantages. South China Morning Post, pop star Lizzo has had a tumultuous year filled with legal issues and personal challenges, including a lawsuit filed by former backup dancers accusing her of sexual harassment. Despite the controversy, she has taken a step back to prioritize her mental health, announcing a gap year in Bali where she plans to share her journey through social media. Lizzo has also celebrated her Emmy nomination for her HBO Max special, although she did not win. In a surprising twist, she hinted at retirement before clarifying that her comments were aimed at rejecting negativity. Additionally, she launched a new swimwear line under her brand Yitty, featuring diverse styles to cater to all body types. Amidst these events, she mourned the loss of her beloved dog Puka, sharing heartfelt tributes on social media. South China Morning Post, Princess Gloria Thurn-Yuendi Taxis, a former punk rock icon, has made headlines for her controversial support of conservative values and Catholic activism. Once known for her wild lifestyle and connections to celebrities like Michael Jackson and Mick Jagger, the princess has transformed her life following the death of her husband, which left her with significant debt. She credits her renewed faith in Catholicism for helping her navigate this challenging period. Now a mother of 3 and a dowager princess, she hosts cultural events at her family castle and engages in the contemporary art scene, showcasing works by renowned artists. Despite her past as Princess T&T, she has become a vocal advocate for traditional Catholic values, even criticizing Pope Francis for his approach to the church. Al Jazeera: Australian breakdancer Rachel Ray Gun Gun has turned her critics into supporters by achieving the #1 ranking in the world of breakdancing, a feat confirmed by the World Dance Sport Federation. After her kangaroo-inspired performance at the Paris Olympics drew ridicule, Gunn faced backlash from the breakdancing community. However, she proved her talent by winning the Oceania Continental Championship, which secured her top ranking. In a recent interview, she expressed regret for the negative attention her Olympic performance brought to her peers, but emphasized her dedication to the sport. As she prepares for future competitions, Gunn remains focused on her passion for breakdancing, stating that she worked hard for her Olympic qualification and will continue to represent Australia with pride. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email. Turn the lights on.